Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the 10 hardest Skyrim bosses. For this list, we've picked bosses that forced players to spam healing spells, gulp down potions, and shove obscene amounts of food into their mouths. Did we skip over your favorite foe? Give them a Fosroda in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Gauldur Brothers. Technically, these count as 3 bosses, but being troublesome really brings them together. You encounter these soulless siblings during the Forbidden Legend quest while searching for the mystical Gauldur amulet. These Draugr Lord brothers, Mikrul, Jirik, and Sigdis, each have a fragment of their father's amulet, which they murdered him for. Individually, they might seem quite conventional, but battling these brothers one after the other will wear you out. Mikrul tries to gang up on you with his undead allies, Jirik gets a healthy dose of temporary elemental invulnerability, and Sigdis will summon a seemingly endless supply of clones of himself. Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in for a rematch, this time as ghosts. Croesus. Every Skyrim player knows that when a dragon priest busts out of their tomb, things are gonna get heated, sometimes literally. Croesus boasts a level of 50. He uses frost magic, but strangely also a staff of fireballs as well. If that doesn't sound tough enough, he's also best buds with a dragon. Unlike most other dragon priest tombs, Croesus was buried on a mountain. This means that when his staff or his dragon's mouth is pointed at you, there are no pillars or walls to hide behind, so shield yourself or skedaddle. We suggest bringing a follower with you, for support, and totally not as bait. Alduin. The World Eater really shakes the sweet rolls out of your pocket when you first bump into him, all the way back in Helgen. When you finally fight him in Sovngarde, you are not the same powerless and perplexed Dragonborn from the start of the game. However, no amount of experience makes being on the business end of Alduin's fury any easier, but having some deceased Nord heroes by your side does help. Alduin's appetite for destruction is on full display when he showers you with meteorites, blasts you with armor-shattering shouts, and incapacitates you by regularly chomping at you. Even after using the powerful Dragon Rend shout, Alduin still poses a huge threat to the player's health bar if they're not careful. Miraak.
The time for talking is long past.
Interacting with Miraak is kind of like fighting a toxic player who's been playing since early access, except this time, they're actually better than you. He is the first ever Dragonborn and has a bunch of Dragonborn powers that you've never seen before. Miraak can shout some armor into existence, steal your dragon souls, and even ride dragons. This masked menace can also use his shouts way more often than you, to the dismay of your ears. When you finally get the better of him, he resorts to taking big swigs of dragon souls to replenish his health. Eventually, you'll beat him, but get ready for one of those empty your inventory sort of battles. Naslarum. and Voslarum. Sure, the Dragonborn would have fought plenty of dragons by the time they faced this destructive duo, but fighting these legendary dragons at once is something else entirely. Nasalarum and Voslarum will burst forth from the ice and sap the life out of you in-game and in the real world. They will spam the Drain Vitality Dragon Shout, which will slowly reduce your health, stamina, and magicka over time, and also causes you to get a bit dizzy. Then, they'll follow that up by trying to cook you to perfection while you struggle to stand up. Their bloodthirsty teamwork might be too much for some players, so bring a buddy to even the odds. The Forgemaster. If a larger and more lethal Dwarven Centurion was somehow a fire-type Pokemon, you'd have the Forgemaster. Dwarven Centurions are tough as nails, but this thing will really grind your gears. This mechanical monstrosity arises from literal lava and will make you wish you never stepped foot in a Dwarmer ruin. It is immune to fire, which is a given, but it also spits it out like it's going out of fashion. It also hits like a truck. One way to not get barbecued is to exploit its only major weakness. It does not do well against frost damage. Harkon.
It appears I have you to thank for turning my daughter against me. I knew it was only a matter of time before she'd return with hatred in her heart.
Lord Harkon isn't like the regular bloodsuckers you come across in Skyrim. This pure-blooded vampire clan leader is a pure pain in the butt to deal with. If you choose to oppose him, you're in for a tough time. When he reveals his true vampiric form, he moves faster, he spams spells, and he summons gargoyles and skeletons to pummel you. He's resistant and sometimes straight up immune to different types of attacks, but he is a vampire, so use lots of fire and sunlight-based attacks against him. The real danger is trying to survive, because Harkon hovers over a blood altar, which helps him regenerate his health. So if you're not stocked up for this fight, he might bleed you dry. The Ebony Warrior.
You are my last challenge. Only you can send me to Sovngarde with honor. Make your preparations. When you're ready, come find me at my last vigil.
Once you reach level 80, you'd think you could handle anything Skyrim throws at you, right? Enter the Ebony Warrior. It's not about revenge or justice with him. He challenges you to a duel so he can finally rest in peace in Sovngarde. But just because he's ready to die doesn't mean that he'll make it easy for you.
Damn you!
The Ebony Warrior also has a 50% resistance to most elemental damage and poison damage, along with a ton of perks. If you somehow manage to whittle his health down, he'll use spells to reduce the damage he takes, and if given the chance, he can restore his health completely. What adds to the mystery of this perplexing powerhouse is that he can use the most iconic dragon shout in the game. You know the one. Karstaag. Remember how afraid you were of giants at the beginning of the game? Well, how would you like to relive that fear pretty late in the game? That's where Karstaag steps in. This level 90 behemoth will make you feel like a noob again every time he flings you around, chills your bones, or tanks massive damage. He is immune to frost, poison, and paralysis. but he is only slightly weak to fire attacks. Karstaag also regenerates health super fast, can summon ice wraiths, and has a 75% resistance to shock damage. Once you beat him, you can summon him 3 times before he gives you the cold shoulder forever. Azadale. Among the deadly dragon priests, Azadale stands above the rest, or rather hovers. Just like his dragon priest bros, he likes to be surrounded by Draugr minions and has the annoying habit of resurrecting them. With a 0-second casting time for his spells, you'll have to get used to being on fire a lot. Each fireball does a massive amount of damage and continues to burn you for a while. While the other dragon priests tend to dress for comfort, Azadale is the only one who wears armor and has attained a respectable level of 60. Stealth archers can use pillars for cover and poke at him until he dies, while the rest can bring lots of fire-resistant potions and maybe some ointment too.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.